whatever it is, this was a quieter, safer place to sort of hang out until I figured out what to do next. So it's like I have my own little neighborhood. Who's walking who, right? That's what they always say with dog walkers. It's nothing worse than people coming up to dog walkers saying, who's walking who? And you want to punch them in the face. American Street. Because after a while it gets old, like, oh, the dog is walking you. You don't know how to control a dog. And it's like, first of all, for a dog walker, it's not their own personal dog, right? And second of all, it's up to owners to train dogs if they want to train them. So anyone walking an untrained or trained dog has to put up with whatever's going on. Stingy, bitter cold with the wind, so my face is cold. I have a hoodie under my fleece, and it zips up almost like a scarf. You know how some jackets and hoodies have that piece that comes up, and you could kind of put it in front of your face. The hoodie's a little bit big, so sometimes it is too far away. Put my chin in there. Dog in this, or being, not having a roof over your head, and say you have a bunch of relatives who die all around the same time, and no one steps forward to offer you, say you were staying with your mom and aunt, and no one stepped forward to say, oh my god, maybe you could stay here until something works out. Yeah, we found out who the pigs were big time. And other people had to die and pass away in order for the higher people in the universe to figure out who the pigs were. And we're talking piggy, big time. Their kids should be ashamed of them, and their wives, husbands should be ashamed of them. Can you imagine living with a major pig who would leave you on the street? And it's through no fault of yours. They hurt you. Stir the pot so that you can't figure out what you're supposed to do any longer, and you're totally clean, you're not a drug addict, nothing like that. Although their pots were stirred, see what I mean, which probably put them in the place to need to cope or rebel as it is. Can you imagine? There's more to Old City over there that goes over to Franklin. Goes all the way up to and across the street from Franklin Square. So Old City seems small in the mind, and then you come out here and it's like, actually it's bigger than There's a lot So I'll just reiterate it. A lot of people had to die, and it either, that's sort of how I see it. And someone mentioned, like, in order to find the pigs, there are people who see what happens after other people die. So it seems like people had to die in order to figure out who the worst of the worst is on planet Earth, whether closely related to your own family or distantly trying to handle things the way they need things to fall out. You know what I mean? So it could go in many different ways, but wow. Very immature people out there with some serious money. You know, people celebrating a little too high on the hog. I wouldn't get too cocky there if you didn't do the right thing, because they're watching ya. You better watch out. You better not gloat. You better not vote. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is always watching. He's checking his list. He's checking it twice. He already knows who's naughty and not nice. Santa Claus is always watching the pigs. He sees you when you're stealing through wills, estates, and other things like that. He sees you when you're totally unfair and did the wrong thing. He sees you when you try to go through other people to scare and intimidate biological sons and daughters. And he knows you can't be good for goodness sake. That's it. People will scare you away and then make you look like the problem. Then you have a clueless, biological parent or similar who's like, oh, well, they would love to have you come around. They're actually murdered. They're like, they rape people. That's why I don't feel comfortable coming around. Nothing worse than being like the 18th wheel of a 5-family fake system.